Hello and welcome to the Practical English Podcast. My name is Mike.
And I'm Angela. It's great to have you with us today.
Today we have a very exciting and I think a very useful topic. We are talking about dating. Specifically, what to say on a first date in English.
That's right. First dates can be a little scary, right? You want to make a good impression, and doing it in a second language can feel even more stressful.
Exactly. But don't worry. The goal of this episode is to make you feel more confident. We're going to give you simple, practical phrases and tips that you can actually use.
We'll cover everything from the first hello to asking interesting questions and even how to say goodbye at the end of the night. By the end of this episode, you'll have a complete guide.
Ready, Angela? Let's dive in.
Let's do it. Okay, so let's start at the very beginning, the first 5 minutes. This is all about breaking the ice. That means starting the conversation in a relaxed way.
Right, the first impression. When you meet your date, a simple, friendly greeting is perfect. You can say something like, "Hi, I'm Mike. It's so nice to finally meet you."
Yes, using finally is a nice touch. It shows you were looking forward to the date. After the greeting, you can ask a simple question about their journey. For example, did you find this place okay? Or how was your trip here?
Those are great because they're easy to answer. You can also talk about the location. If you're at a cafe or restaurant, you can ask, "Have you been here before?"
If they say no, you can say, "Me neither, but I've heard good things about it." If they say yes, you can ask, "Oh, cool. What do you recommend?"
See? You already have a conversation going. The key here is to be warm, smile, and keep it simple. Don't try to say something too complicated in the first few minutes.
Totally agree. Simple questions, friendly smile. That's the magic formula for the first 5 minutes.
Okay, so you've said hello. Now what? It's time to talk a little bit about yourselves. Angela, what's a good way to start?
Well, often the conversation will naturally go to the question, so what do you do? This means, what is your job?
Right, a very common question. And your answer can be simple. You can say, "I'm a," and then your job title. For example, "I'm a graphic designer." Or, "I work in," and then your industry. "I work in marketing."
A great tip here is to add one extra sentence. Don't just say, "I'm a teacher." Say, "I'm a teacher, I teach English to children, and I love it."
Oh, that's so much better. It gives the other person more information and something to ask a follow-up question about. They could ask, "Oh, what age do you teach?"
Exactly. The same idea applies to hobbies. Your date will probably ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?"
Instead of just, "I like reading," try, "I really enjoy reading, especially fantasy novels. I just finished a great book last week."
That's perfect. It makes you sound more interesting, and it makes the conversation easier for both of you. So remember, your answer plus one extra detail. Now for what I think is the most important part of a first date conversation, asking good questions.
I agree 100%. Asking questions shows you're interested in the other person and not just in talking about yourself.
And we have a magic phrase for this. It's so simple. After you answer a question, you just say, "What about you?"
It's the easiest way to keep the conversation balanced. For example, "I work in marketing. It can be busy, but it's interesting. What about you?"
Perfect. Now, let's talk about some good topics for questions. You want to keep it light and positive on a first date. Some safe and good topics are travel, food, movies, TV shows, and music.
Let's give some examples. For travel, you could ask, "Have you traveled anywhere interesting recently? Or do you have any trips planned?"
For food, what's your favorite type of food? Or do you enjoy cooking?
For entertainment, have you seen any good movies lately? Or what kind of music are you into? "Are you into" is a very natural way to say, "Do you like?"
Right. And listen to their answers. If they say they love Italian food, you can ask a follow-up question like, "Oh, me too. Do you have a favorite Italian restaurant in the city?"
That's the key to a great conversation. Listen and ask a question about what they said. It shows you are paying attention.
Okay, Mike. Are you ready to put this into practice? Let's do a mini role play.
I'm ready. Let's pretend we're on a first date. We've just gotten our drinks. I'll start.
Okay.
So, Angela, this is a really nice cafe. Have you been here before?
No, I haven't. It's my first time. It's lovely. So, what do you do for work, Mike?
I'm a software developer for a small tech company. It's pretty interesting. I get to work on new apps. What about you?
I'm a freelance writer. I mostly write articles for travel websites.
Wow, that sounds like a dream job. Do you get to travel a lot for it?
Sometimes, yes. I was in Italy last month for a project. It was amazing.
And scene. See what happened there? I asked a simple question, Angela gave an answer with a detail, I asked a follow-up question, and suddenly we're talking about travel.
It flows very naturally. That's what you want to aim for.
Okay, but what happens when there's a problem? For English learners, two common problems are one, you don't understand what the person said, and two, the dreaded awkward silence.
Right. Let's tackle the first one. If you don't understand a word or a sentence, please do not just nod and smile. It's much better to be honest.
You can say something polite like, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Or if it's one word you don't know, you can ask, what does that word mean?
People are usually very happy to explain. It's not a problem at all. It shows you are really trying to understand them.
Okay, now for the awkward silence. The conversation just stops. What can you do?
My advice is to have one or two emergency questions in your mind. General questions that you can ask anytime. For example, so do you have any fun plans for the weekend?
That's a great one. Another one could be about family. Do you have any brothers or sisters? But only ask that if the mood feels right.
Good point. Another tactic is to give a small compliment. A compliment is when you say something nice to someone. It can make the other person feel good and restart the conversation.
Yes, keep it simple and sincere. Something like, I really like your jacket, or you have a great laugh. It's a sweet way to fill a quiet moment.
The date is going well. You've talked for a while, but now it's getting late. How do you end the date politely?
This is an important skill. First, you need a phrase to signal that it's time to go. You could look at your watch and say, wow, look at the time. I should probably get going soon. I have an early start tomorrow.
That's a very clear and polite way to do it. Then, when you're ready to leave, it's always nice to say you enjoyed the date. A simple, I had a really nice time tonight is perfect.
Okay, now for the big question. What if you liked the person and want to see them again?
Be direct, but not pushy. After you say you had a nice time, you can add, I'd love to do this again sometime.
That's clear and confident. I like it. But what if you didn't feel a connection and you don't want a second date?
You still want to be polite. In this situation, you can say, it was really nice meeting you. Have a good night. This is friendly, but it doesn't suggest another meeting. It's a polite way to close the chapter.
That's a very useful distinction. I'd love to do this again for yes, and it was nice meeting you for a polite no. Before we finish, let's share a few quick confidence boosters. Little tips to remember that will make a big difference.
Okay, I'll go first. My biggest tip is, your English does not have to be perfect. The person you are on a date with is there to get to know you, not to grade your grammar. Communication is the goal, not perfection.
That is so important. My tip is to smile and use open body language. It shows you're friendly and happy to be there. So much of communication is nonverbal. A warm smile is understood in every language.
Great one. And my last tip, it's okay to prepare a little. Before the date, think of 2 or 3 interesting things that happened to you recently, or think of a few questions you want to ask. It's not an exam, but a little preparation can make you feel much more relaxed.
Absolutely. So to recap, be yourself, be curious, and don't worry about small mistakes.
Wow, we've covered a lot today. Let's do a super quick review of the most important phrases.
Good idea. For starting the conversation, it's so nice to meet you. And did you find this place okay?
When talking about yourself, remember the +1 detail. I'm a or I work in, and add a little something extra.
When asking questions, use the magic phrase, what about you? And ask about topics like travel, food, and hobbies.
If you don't understand, just say, I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
And at the end of the night, I had a really nice time, followed by, I'd love to do this again sometime, if you mean it.
That's it. We hope these tips help you feel more prepared and confident for your next first date in English. Remember, the most attractive thing is confidence, and just trying is a huge step.
That's all the time we have for today on the Practical English Podcast. Thanks for listening.
You can find a transcript of this episode on our website. Until next time, happy dating!